A very good afternoon, investors. You're now on Kleverstock with me, One Izul Islam, and I'll be serving you the midday roundup with the latest market updates from this morning up until now. So let's kick it off with the Bursa Malaysia updates. Bursa Malaysia retreated from yesterday's gains to open lower on Tuesday, tracking weaker regional markets and a softer overnight performance on Wall Street. At around 9:10 a.m. this morning, the FBM KLCI eased 2.76 points or 0.17% to 1,640.96 from Monday's close of 1,643.72. Now, the index had opened 0.95 of a point lower at 1,642.77. On the broader market, 180 losers outpaced 121 gainers, while 273 counters were unchanged, 2,202 untraded, and 12 were suspended. Turnover stood at 106.46 million shares, and that was worth around 62.36 million ringgit. Now, Rakita and Trade Sudian Berhad Vice President of Equity Research, Tong Pak Leng, he said that Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index stayed in the red as growing concerns over stretched technology valuations and aggressive artificial intelligence-related investment continued to weigh on sentiment. He also added that overnight Wall Street finished lower as losses in the technology, oil and gas, and consumer services sector dampened sentiment, with investors remaining cautious ahead of a data-heavy week that could significantly alter expectations for interest rates and the 2026 growth outlook. However, he said, on a positive note, the strengthening of the ringgit is expected to provide support to the local market. As such, we anticipate the FBM KLCI to continue oscillating within 1,630 to 1,640 range today. Among the heavyweights today, Maybank and Tenaga Nasional lost 4 cents each to 10 ringgit 32 cents and 13 ringgit 6 cents respectively. Public Bank and IHH Healthcare were 2 cents lower at 4 ringgit 47 cents and 8 ringgit 68 cents respectively, while CIMB Group inched up by 1 cent to 7 ringgit 94 cents. On the most active list, Perak Transit dipped 1 cent to 21.9 cents. Bumi Armada remained unchanged at 31 cents, while Orkim gained 3 cents to 1 ringgit 13 cents. Inari Amatron fell by 5 cents to 1 ringgit 78 cents, while Renewco inched up half a cent to 2.5 cents. Besides Orkim, other top gainers included Dutch Lady Milk Industries. They climbed by 76 cents to 30 ringgit 88 cents. SHL Consolidated added 10 cents to 2 ringgit 30 cents. United Plantation gained 6 cents to 28 ringgit 76 cents. And Unisem advanced by 4 cents to 3 ringgit 32 cents. Now, besides Inari Amatron, other top losers included MISC and Petronas Gas, both of which plunged by 12 cents to 7 ringgit 51 cents and 17 ringgit 54 cents respectively. Now, Malaysian Pacific Industries fell by 10 cents to 31 ringgit 70 cents, and Vitrox Corporation slid by 8 cents to 4 ringgit 11 cents. Moving on to some local currency and foreign exchange, the ringgit surged to the 4.08 level against the US dollar on Tuesday opening, marking its strongest performance in nearly 5 years, as improved confidence in the Malaysian economy boosted demand for the local currency. At around 8 a.m. in the morning, the ringgit strengthened to 4.0890 or 4.0970 versus the greenback from 4.0930 or 4.0980 at yesterday's close. Now, the level was last seen on April 30th, 2021, when the ringgit closed at 4.0870 against the US dollar. Now, Bank Muamalat Malaysia Berhad Chief Economist Dr. Muhammad Abzanizam Abdul Rashid, he said that the ringgit's advance was further underpinned by a weaker US dollar, with the US dollar index slipping 0.09% to 98.309 points. Now, he said that these markets are awaiting the release of the US November's non-farm payroll or NFP data later tonight, which could provide clearer direction on the US monetary policy outlook. He also said that essentially traders and investors are looking at the incoming data points to establish new leads at a time when the US Federal Reserve appears to be divided over its recent decision to reduce the policy rate. In a quote, Afzal Nizam said, "On that note, we expect the US dollar ringgit pair to linger around the prevailing level, and at the opening the ringgit traded firmer against a basket of major currencies. It improved versus the British pound to 5.4707 or 5.4814. It also appreciated against the Japanese yen to 2.6374 or 2.6427, and advanced versus the euro to 4.8058 or 4.8152. Now, the local currency was also higher against ASEAN peers. It firmed against the Singapore dollar to 3.1708 or 3.1772. It strengthened vis-a-vis the Thai baht to 12.9826 or 13.0196. Our ringgit also edged up against the Indonesian rupiah to 245.3 or 245.9. and climbed against the Philippine peso to 6.92 or 6.94. Now for some local economic news. The restoration of Seri Negara has been completed ahead of schedule, marking a major milestone in Kuala Lumpur's heritage conservation efforts, Khazanah Nasional Berhad said. The Managing Director, Dato' Amirul Faisal Wan Zahir, said work on the 112-year-old building was completed in just 10 months, significantly faster than the projected 2 years, thanks to strong collaboration among all parties involved. Now, he said that heritage assets are not merely old structures. They hold the key to the narrative of our nation's formation and progress. Without respect for history, the progress we achieve becomes detached from the identity, lessons, and continuity that form the foundation of a nation. Now, under the Warisan KL initiative, Khazanah is tasked with the conserving and revitalizing key heritage buildings in the capital. The initiative includes Karkosa at Bukit Karkosa and Sultan Abdul Samad Building Complex, which encompasses Bangunan Sultan Abdul Samad, Pejabat Pos Lama, the former Kuala Lumpur High Court, Panggung Bandaraya, and the old FMS Survey Office and the National Textile Museum. Now, the 600 million ringgit initiative aims to preserve national identity while ensuring urban development remains sustainable and economically relevant. Now, the restored Seri Negara will now house the Seri Negara Gallery, which celebrates Malaysia's journey to independence and educates the public on significant periods in the nation's history from 1913 to the present. A cafe and restaurant operated by the Serai Group will also open within the premises. Semuka Cafe is now open to the public, while Serai House will be open only on a reservation basis for the time being. Now, as a building with Warisan status, guests will need to register through the Sahabat Seri Negara program to visit the Seri Negara Gallery. Moving on to some more local news updates. A special meeting on the Election Commission EC to discuss matters and important dates for the Kita Batangan Parliamentary and Lamag State by-elections in Sabah is underway at Menara SPR here today. Now, the meeting, chaired by EC Chairman Datuk Seri Ramlan Harun, began at around 10 a.m. this morning and will determine important dates for the by-election, such as the date of the writ of election, nomination day, polling day, as well as the electoral roll to be used, as well as other preparations. Also present at the meeting were EC Deputy Chairman Dr. Azmi Sharum and EC Secretary Dato' Khairul Shahril Idrus. Now, the EC will hold a press conference this afternoon after the meeting. On December 9th, Khairul Shahril was reported to have said that the EC had received the official notification from the Speaker of the Dewan Rakyat Tan Sri Johari Abdul and the Speaker of the Sabah State Legislative Assembly, Dato' Sri Kazim M. Yahya, regarding the unexpected vacancies for the 2 seats following the death of the incumbent Dato' Sri Mung Bokta Radin. on December 5th. Now, Khairul Shahril said that in accordance with Article 54, Clause 1 of the Federal Constitution and Article 21 of the Sabah State Constitution, which provides the unexpected vacancies of Kina Batangan Parliamentary Seat and Lamag State Seat in Sabah, must be filled within 60 days from the date the vacancy is confirmed by the EC. Now we'll take a short break, but don't go away. We will return shortly with some corporate news developments right after this 5-minute break. Thank you very much. And welcome back to the Midday Roundup. Let's continue with corporate news developments right here in our country, Malaysia. First news, SSF Home Group Berhad, they registered a net profit of 504,000 ringgit in the second quarter of ended October 31st, 2025, from a net loss of 1.98 million ringgit a year ago. Now, the company's revenue for the quarter rose by 9.7% to 33 million from 30.09 million ringgit last year, and that's supported by continued effectiveness of targeted marketing initiatives and sustained customer engagement efforts. In a statement, they said that the company's focus on value-driven offerings and promotional campaigns contributed to stronger footfall and improved sales conversion, contributing to a solid revenue performance for the quarter. Now, for the first half of 2025, SSF Home registered a net profit of 672,000 ringgit from a net loss of 735,000 ringgit last year. Its revenue rose 6.2% to 66 million ringgit from 62.1 million ringgit a year ago, and that's supported by stronger sales performance and enhanced operational efficiencies. Executive Director Lok Kok Kong said that SSF remains confident in its strategic positioning. Lok added that the company continues to strengthen its value for money proposition through refreshed store formats, right-sized outlet expansion in key urban centers, and enhancements to the overall customer experience as part of its broader rebranding initiatives. Up next, we have some more business updates. Solar Vest Holdings Berhad is expected to record an effective order book accretion of 84.1 million ringgit following the recent contracts secured under the Large-Scale Solar 5 or LSS5 program, according to Maybank Investment Bank Berhad. Now, the company, through a consortium with Binastra Corporation Berhad, had secured solar engineering, procurement, construction and commissioning EPCC contracts with a combined value of 171.7 million ringgit for 3 LSS5 projects. And that's based on SolarVest's 49% effective stake in the consortium. The projects are expected to contribute 84.1 million ringgit to its effective order book, lifting the company's total outstanding order book to 1.7 billion ringgit. Now, Maybank said that this is equivalent to about 3.8 times the forecast EPCC revenue for financial year 2025. It said, inclusive of this contract win, year to date, new wins totaled 1.3 billion ringgit, representing 51% of our financial year 2026 replenishment assumption of 2.5 billion ringgit. Overall, Maybank IB is positive on the strategic collaboration as it enables SolarVest to leverage Binastra Corp's expanding project pipeline in green energy solutions. Now, the bank has maintained its earnings forecast for SolarVest, noting that the latest contract win aligns with the company's 2.5 billion ringgit replenishment assumptions for financial year 2026. Maybank has maintained a buy rating with a target price of 3 ringgit 67 cents. SolarVest remains attractive due to its leading market position, holding over 30% share in the solar renewable energy sector and its strong role as a beneficiary of Malaysia's energy transition initiatives. Finally, we're going to be wrapping up with some major corporate developments and deals across Malaysia. At number 1, Binastra Atlantic Sdn Berhad, jointly owned by Binastra Corporation Berhad with an effective 51% stake, as well as SolarVest Holdings Berhad with 49% stake, has secured a 171.7 million ringgit contract for 3 LSS5 solar projects. Our next headline, Kenanga Investment Bank Berhad. They've emerged as the lead investor in Halogen Capital Sdn Berhad after acquiring the largest institutional stake of 14.9% in the digital asset fund manager. Our next headline, Anju Resources Berhad has signed 2 joint venture agreements with Transia Sdn Berhad to develop the 207-acre Gurun Heavy Industrial Park in Kedah, with a GDV exceeding 203 million ringgit. Number 4, EP Manufacturing Berhad has inked a framework assembly agreement and a related vehicle assembly agreement with Xpeng Motors Malaysia Sdn Berhad. Our next headline at number 5, minority shareholders of Turia Berhad have rejected the proposed 135 million ringgit acquisition of Wisma Central Inai from Central Right, blocking resolutions at an EGM. That's a wrap up for the Midday Roundup with me, Wanizul Islam, right here on Kleverstock. Thank you so much for choosing us, investors. Stay tuned for more live programming upcoming. Let's go.